and this is Win at the Horses, the weekend preview. Thanks for joining us. Joe Kelley and Bill Kelley here. Pleasure to be joining you right now to take a little bit of a look at Royal Ascot tomorrow, Friday. Today was a pretty successful day. Yeah. So anyways, I've got another tough race. You know, we can go through these pretty quickly if you want, but another 6 furlong turf for 2-year-olds, and I do have one horse which is a real long shot. I don't know if you wanted to add any comments before I give it out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You go and I'll comment. How's that?
You're gonna love this one. Number 17, Snafia, 99-1 on the odds. Now I'm looking at the previous races. Good jockey, James McDonald for the turf sprint. I mean, that's his specialty. And also has been, representative. Maiden hasn't broke his maiden yet, but representative in the previous 3 outings. So, for that price, if we get it, it's worth doing it each way on that. Other than that, it's all guesswork to me. How about you?
No, I'm not. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll mark it down as a possible, and I have no thoughts on that.
Don't mark it down as a sure thing, but
I've already put.
We're going to go over to race number 2, the Commonwealth Cup Stakes, another 6-furlong turf event, and I've got 2 picked out. Have you seen anything here?
I'm sorry. I haven't seen. I'm looking at the race the first time.
All right. I'm going to go. Godolphin has 2 that I was interested in, but I'm going to stick with one of them, the 4 and the 5. But I like the 5, Noble Style with James Doyle. And I know Buick is has ridden both horses and stays with the number 4. But I think Noble Style may give you a better shot at this.
Pretty high class rating.
Yeah,
the class rating on the 4 is very high.
So you'll take the number 4 and I'll take the number 5.
Perfect.
My other horse in this race is
the interesting thing to me, Joe, when you look at these races, the weight swings are enormous.
Right.
Like these horses are carrying 125, but at one time they carried 128 or 133. The drop down in weights really must affect how they run. There has to. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. I don't know why they have such big swings either.
Yeah, well, I guess we have to talk with somebody over there to give us the lowdown on that.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that the number 1 horse here. Let me go back. Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
bring
the number
up the
1
number
horse.
1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Little Big Bear.
We're still not there. There we go. Yeah, number 1 cannot win. He's scratched.
You're giving out all the pertinent information for our folks out there. Yeah. Love that one.
But number
that's a good one.
2, I'm assuming that the handicap, when they handicapped this race, okay, when they wrote this race, number 2 is the highest rated horse in the race. Number 3 is the next one, number 4, so on and so forth, all the way down to how many horses are in this race?
This one there are 14 entrants.
Yeah.
14.
Okay, so
13 after.
So they go from 1 to 14, and they rate like Hong Kong. They rate the horse. The handicapper rates the horse. That's how they assign the weight. That's why some horses are carrying 125, others are carrying 128, and So, so I don't know. It's a I have no real feel for this. You know, I haven't looked at it. So, but they've already handicapped the race,
Yeah, exactly.
for you. Now the question is how much how much emphasis do you put on weight, you know, and and recency, and then uh, performance. And all these young horses are these are 3-year-olds, so they have a past performance, but it's very limited. And you'll notice that most of these, now, for instance, the 11 horse, I'm just looking here, the 11 horse has run at Ascot and won with the Tory on him. Now, who's
Mhm.
riding the 9 horse?
The 9. Oh,
Is
okay.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Lezu.
11 horse, excuse me,
Right.
Lezu. So the Dettori, Franco is back on it. Uh, and so, I mean, you have to give a little more emphasis to that. He's got to win at the track, at the distance. And he was carrying 128. Now he's carrying 125. So he's running with 3 pounds less
Hmm.
on and the horse has already won at the track and the distance. So you got to give a little more emphasis to that horse.
And these morning line
And
odds.
these some of them,
Yeah, these morning line odds with
excuse me,
Frankie Dettori's last Ascot, they you may not be getting what the
oh,
morning line says, but looks like a legit horse though.
yeah, legit horse. You got to
I've got
throw the
one more.
11 in there.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
got one more to sneak in. Another
mhm.
long shot, number 13, Queen Me, ridden by Jim Crowley, Kevin Ryan, training.
Jim Crow.
The 2-year-old season came in second in a grade 2 stakes and also finished third in a grade 3. Did not do well over the debut for this season, but I think I'm gonna put in each way on this one as well. 13 Queen Me.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna move
All
along
right.
to another race, which is a long distance race, the Duke of Edinburgh, the third race. It's a handicap, and I'm going all the way down. There's a lot of horses in here, so the disadvantage. I think we've talked about this before. Is that you're not able here in the States to get payouts to like 5 or 6 places in there if you play each way. So sometimes you got to
They
get
do
in
have a.
third.
They do. Yeah. They do have another bet which we normally don't get in the states called the swinger or omni swinger or whatever it is, which
Right, right,
I thought it was. That is an exacta bet. So you're actually betting horses through the first three places, but it's an exacta, not a quinella.
right.
So I don't know. I haven't been watching the odds on that, but that's something that's different from here in the states.
I think there was some talk about having that for Naira here in New York, but I haven't heard anything in
Well,
quite a
I
while.
think they did. I think yeah, I think they tried it
Oh,
a
okay.
few years ago, something similar,
Right.
but it either didn't. Uh, it didn't play well. You know? So let me
I've got a
just throw up
couple
here.
yeah, I've got a couple picks here I'm going to slide in on this race. Pulling up the screen here. Number
Okay.
17, Americ, James Doyle aboard, and the sire is Frankel, who, I mean, super sire, but has done extremely well at Royal Ascot. And
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
a
Uh huh.
bigger price here, the number 19, Stay Well, Jason Hart, for this mile-and-a-half race. So anything
Mm.
to add with these marathons?
Well, at least you can leave and go for coffee before it ends.
Yeah, and then sometimes two sometimes two announcers, right?
Oh, I haven't heard that one, but
Right. Yeah, yeah. They
they're
get tired.
strange races. I don't know. Have you? Yeah. Have you noticed that horses in the back are not getting to they're not the deep closers. And when I say deep closers, they're maybe, you know, 5 or 6 lengths off the leading horse, but they're not getting to the finish.
Right.
They
The
swing
turf
out wide and they're not getting there. Yeah.
the turf listed as good to fast or good to firm. They haven't had rain, and I don't think they're going to have rain for the next couple days either.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
I've got two more races for tomorrow's card to go over here at Win at the Horses. Bill Kelley
Okay.
in Vegas. I'm in upstate New York, just 6 miles away from Saratoga Springs, and race number 4, Coronation Stakes. This one is a mile on the turf. Now, the heavy favors to Tahira Christopher Hayes, trained by Dermot Weld, a great trainer he's out of Ireland. But I've got two that may upset. Young jockey who's been doing really well as of late, Kevin Stott, is aboard. Number 2, Mama's Girl, and also 5, Remarque, Roger Hornsby, 20-1. So I don't know if I'm going to hit with something like that. It's going to have to be an upset, most definitely.
Is that Roger Hornsby's grandson?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. He also he's a great player from the Cardinals. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, Roger Hornsby's great grandson aboard for Ralph Beckett. Let's go on to the final
Yeah.
race that I looked at, and then we'll move on to stateside here. Number 6, the 6th race. Excuse me. We've got another time to get coffee race. King Edward the 7th stake. Who was your favorite king over there?
Uh,
All right, we should have
in
talked
my
about this
lifetime,
before.
they've all been queens.
Yeah,
They've all been queens.
right. But King Charles
Queen
had a win
Mary, and
today.
then I don't. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, right.
Uh, the and Frankie got 9 days for riding rough riding on his one of his other king's horses
Oh,
the other
really?
day.
I didn't hear that.
So he got 9. Yeah, he's got 9 days after this meet. He's got to sit for, and apparently he's losing a major ride, which on for I don't know, it's July 3rd. A filly, really
Oh,
good
okay.
filly that he was named for, but he won't be able to ride. So I'm sure the king will give him some compensation for that.
Yeah, yeah, just for his troubles. But this 6th race, I took a look at the King Edward the 7th race, and another Roger Hornsby, number 3 artistic star. Something about that name. Something that
Yeah,
I
right.
noticed.
It's a name
Something
we
that I
know, right?
noticed. Yeah, yeah. Some of these races are interesting. I've seen few winners thus far. First 3 days, their first race of the season, they come off the bench and run extremely well, like a first or a second, and then the next race, they it's one of those jogs around the track and finish up the track, and then they're ready for Royal Ascot, and they've been going off at decent odds. A few winners like that. So our
Well,
handicappers should
I'd
take
also
note.
keep, yeah, yeah, I would pay attention uh, to horses that are actually run at Ascot too.
Hmm.
You know, the because I think they run twice a year at Ascot. One is the Royal, which is going on now, and then somewhere in September, just before the season ends for them, there's another Ascot meeting, which is not that as famous as this one. But horses that have done well at Ascot, you got to give them some upgrade. You know, I mean,
Right.
you got to take a look at them because they're uh, you know it shows they can do they you know it's a unique course. I mean, if you notice, uh, I mean they have 2 mile courses. One is a straight, and the
Hmm.
other is around a bend. And when the one that's around the bend, horses on the inside have a tremendous advantage from the horses that are way outside. When you've got you know, 18 horses or 20 horses, the horses on the outside are in the parking lot. You know,
Yeah.
so that's the other thing that you notice with their races. You got to basically keep an eye on post position because there's a difference between the way they run the races. The horse, gate one is on the uh, outside rail. Well, where we would consider the inside rail, or
Right.
no,
Hmm.
outside rail in American racing, and then uh, the one that's along the stand side is high number gates, and it does make a difference in those races.
Watching Hong
So
Kong racing all these years
I,
probably helped you out with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I look at some of the. I mean, you look at the past performances, and they're really not that helpful. Just look at this horse you got up there now, Rest. I mean, the horse has run a total of, you got to add them up, lifetime 6 times. He's won 3, so he's done pretty well, right? But then
Yeah.
you look at the record. I mean, his last win was last year in September at where the hell was he?
No,
He
he
was
won off the bench. That's actually that was kind of what I was talking about. Another one winning off the bench and then not doing too well in the next race.
yeah, but I'd never even heard of that track. FLS
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything to me.
I'm stumped. I think we got to move on with
He doesn't look like he runs at the big track.
yeah, yeah,
American
that's right.
racing.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Frankie
well,
Dettori,
this,
who is a rest on the number 2, and I like for a decent price, Artistic Star number 3. Here at Win the Horses, Joe Kelley, Bill Kelley, doing our weekend preview, and promise you next week's going to have some better stakes. We were really stretching for some things right here to get the show together. To be honest with you, but
well,
let
the
me
problem is that the American races are late. They didn't get their performances out very quickly.
yeah, exactly. And there's supposed to be some rain off and on here in New York, down at Belmont too. But
Uh-huh.
hey, tomorrow I didn't get a chance other than looking at the entry names and odds. But do you have anything for tomorrow at Belmont? Friday.
Well, I looked at your uh, the race you were talking about that had a Contessa horse. The first race, uh, I looked at this race, and I'm just pulling up the performances here,
Yeah, it's the
and
first race in 2-year-olds maidens.
yeah, it's a number 4. number 4 horse is Contessa's horse, first time running. Uh, According to some of the software I use, this horse, well, it hasn't run. They don't expect to have much speed.
Hmm.
So the horse that I think I would, depending on the price, the thing I would go 6, 4, 2, 3 in that race. Six,
Six, four,
four,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Yeah.
The six is
Okay.
well,
That's the first race
yeah.
at
The six
Belmont.
has got a yeah.
Right.
It's got a very excellent breeding on the thing for early, early success.
Yeah, it's
And I don't know who
interesting. Yeah.
have you ever heard of this? The trainer Chelsea Moise.
No, no, that's a new one.
She's run 23. This year she's won 23 starts with 8% win,
Okay.
uh, and it's got Dylan Davis on. But it looks like a horse that may be well met. But
Yeah.
that was in the other race that he's in is in the 7th. He's got a horse which is on turf. Again, as you mentioned, if there's any steady rain, the this race would probably come off since it's it's a maiden race,
Right.
or not a maiden race. It's a non-winners of 2 lifetime claimer. So the chances are it's got to be sunny out there before this stays on the grass.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've got actually
but
the entries
let's
pulled up right
let's
here.
yeah. I
Yeah,
I took a look, and Contessa horse is number 9,
right.
uh,
War
which
Terminator.
I don't. Yeah, War Terminator. He's run 10 times with 1 win. Looks like, I mean, this is a what is this? Oh, it's a 6 furlong on the inner. One of the things I noticed, I don't know about you, but I noticed that when they run on the inner turf, the inside horses really get an advantage into that first turn.
Right.
Did you, do you notice
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I've noticed
Where
the
on the
first.
on the bigger courts, the widener, yeah, the outside has seems to do okay.
Right.
So
Yeah, the first two
uh,
inside posts have done really well.
they have to, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and
You know,
if that's the case, then I would say number 3 is the horse that I'd like to be on in
number
this
3,
race
okay.
if it stays on turf.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Big if,
Uh,
but if it does, and it's interesting.
or the
Gary
dirt.
Contessa has Manny Franco on his 2 mounts, so he's good jock riding his horses.
Mm, mm,
Maybe prepping for
yeah.
Saratoga.
The, oh, at this point, I think in the interview, one of the major points I picked up on the interview was the fact that they don't put the book out
Yeah,
because they don't want the trainers
yeah, leaving
stopping at
town.
Belmont. You know?
Right.
So
Yeah, I that caught me by surprise too, and he right away he said it. Yeah, he kind of chuckled at it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can understand. I mean,
Yeah.
they're but so I would say that horse has got the 3 has a chance. It's be his second. Uh, he's coming off of a layoff. He ran on May 26th. A month ago, he ran decent, finished third,
Mhm.
a length and 3/4 off the winner, and so I would say a decent chance. Number 3.
Okay. race
Who's
7
running?
tomorrow
Who's riding? Oh,
at
Kelly's. Yeah,
Belmont Park.
yeah.
Now that we've got time to
How
get
about an
into,
easy race? We go
yeah, we got 2 more to go.
Saturday. We
Uh,
go to the
we got Saturday, some really barn
yeah.
burners. No, we're a little sarcastic about that, but
Wow.
actually we're going to
This
get
will
into
take
it.
2 seconds. We can do this
Yeah.
in 2 seconds.
Why don't we,
Yeah.
since we're still at Belmont,
Belmont, you want to go to Belmont?
we're gonna get into the Wild Applause Stakes
The
race number 6.
race 6. I was surprised that the cross country bet that they have on the weekends
Hmm.
has got, uh, I think, 4 uh, Ascot races and this one,
Oh, okay.
the 6th race at Belmont.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a pick 5, yeah. So I just quickly on this race,
Mhm.
the favorite, the horse that I think is interesting, even at and it's a price, is the 4. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Um, the It's for John Kimmel and Jose Ortiz is riding. Now, if it, again, it's got to stay on turf,
Hmm.
but the favorites. Let me pull that up somehow. Uh, One of
It's
the
one of the brown
favorites,
horses.
Soviet Excess, right? That's a Pletcher horse. Uh, that horse,
Actually, the
you
the
notice
favorite's
one of the
number
things.
8,
Yeah,
Breath Away.
yeah.
Number
Well,
8.
yeah. I my You're right. It is Breathway. Yeah. Uh,
Right.
but let's talk about this first of all. I think I noticed about that horse. Now Pletcher's up in New York, right? So he's brought
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right.
his Gulfstream horses have been brought up to Belmont and then or to Saratoga. But this horse is still in Florida. He's
Right.
working
Right.
out in Florida. His last work was June 16th at Gulfstream.
Hmm.
And so, plus he puts Davis up on the horse instead of one of his normal big time guys. Davis is a good rider, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when you, if this horse was really well meant, I would think he would have one of the Ortiz brothers or Franco or guys that Pletcher normally uses. You know,
So you're going with the rising number
I think
4, the Kimmel horse.
yeah, it's his third start off a layoff.
Hmm.
Uh, he's going to be, uh, he's got a kind of a mixed bag as far as early. He's a mid pack horse the last few times. Ortiz has ridden him the last 3 times. The horse finishes okay. Uh, I guess his last race he was off a little slow, but he finished okay. Finished 3/4 of a length off her. So at 10-1, I think that horse has got a shot.
All right. That is the Wild
Uh,
Applause Stakes Saturday. Hopefully
yeah.
remains on the turf.
And then,
For
yeah,
Yeah.
the one other comment I have is on the favorite, which is Breathaway. Uh,
Okay.
it's Clement horse. He's got Rosario up, and you know everybody says Rosario rides best from the back. Well, he also gets his horses in a lot of trouble in the back. So at 2-1, I'm not interested.
Yeah, especially 3-year-olds, could regress or improve dramatically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are going to
And this
hit
is
our
where,
last.
yeah,
No, go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
No,
Oh
no,
yeah.
no.
Well, this will take 2 seconds. You're talking
All
about
right.
the Indiana
Yeah,
Derby
I'm gonna
or the
pull up
Ohio Derby. I mean, Ohio Derby.
our standout race. Well, actually, here in the States, it's the big race on Saturday, but tough to find something in here. The 12th race at Thistledown, the Ohio Derby,
Yeah.
Grade 3 race. And how do you see it?
Yeah. I don't see how Two Phils gets beaten. I mean, he lays over these horses that none of the other horses have even come close to running figures that he has. The only thing
Mhm.
that I saw that was interesting, if I was going to make a straight exacta, I would go. Let me pull that up. The interesting horse that uh, caught my eye was number 3, Bishop's Bay, who ran to a neck to the Derby, to the Belmont
Right.
winner in the Peter Pan. So, I mean, obviously, this horse has got some talent in him, and I mean, they blew away Henry Q, who's you know mentioned in the race.
Yeah.
But the 2 horses, I would think a 4-3 exacta or a trifecta 4-3 all would certainly. Uh,
Yeah.
I think you'd be okay
Brad
with
Cox
that.
definitely has had success in this race, the Ohio Derby. So um, 4-3 all. The Bill Kelley lock.
But I mean, the fact that he ran to a neck
Right.
of Arcangelo, so that's pretty good for him.
I guess that's what they call back in the day the
But
key race.
the
Yeah.
key race,
I don't know if they still use it, but
well, I would consider it a key race.
right.
Uh, it's funny how you look at figures. I mean, here on your thing, they're saying this is what a brisnet PP. Yeah. Uh, Brisnet says the speed is 101, where software I use says this race, the horse ran to a 83. Just a few ticks off. And I, I think, I think, uh, I think it's Two Phils to lose. This race is his race to lose. Uh, I, I mean, he's
Oh,
coming off a layoff.
right.
He's been training terrifically. Yeah. So I would say for me a 4-3 all trifecta would work.
All right. Put it in the books, as Howie would say. Or
Yeah.
Gary. I
Put
don't
it in the
know.
books.
One of the two.
Gary, Gary Cohen.
Right,
Gary
right.
Cohen.
Gary Cohen.
No,
Yeah.
no, Howie. Howie says that at the
Howie.
end of it.
Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah.
we told you in advance that it was going to be kind of a stretch for the big races, but you did a good job of making lemonade out of lemons, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully.
What we'll be
I think
back
we have
next.
a I think we have a couple of price horses. You gave out some good Ascot possibilities. I think
Right.
the 4 in the 6th race at 10-1
Hmm.
should get that price pretty close to it.
Right.
I think that's a good bet.
All right.
And then
So we will. We got to thank you, my dad, Bill Kelley, out in Vegas, and we'll we'll leave our viewers with one of the maybe a little anecdote. What was the first track you ever went to in person?
Hmm. In person. It's got to be one of the New York tracks. In person. Yeah, it got to be Belmont. I think I I went with one of my suppliers for lunch, and we
Oh,
ate in a restaurant. They have a restaurant, and you can watch the races. I think that was back in the '60s.
oh, okay. And
So,
I got a little tip from your sister that your mom used to run a nickel betting underground horse betting operation with her friends and family. Did you know about that?
I did
Oh, okay.
know. I never won, so
Oh, okay.
I tried to ignore
All right.
it.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks to our viewers. We will be
Hey,
back
Joe,
next
thank
week
you.
with another edition of Win at the Horses, and we'll see you in the winner's circle, everybody.